Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the Matrix. Subscribe.
What happens when an Area 51 employee gets drunk and starts spilling everything he was never supposed to say? Well, you're about to find out.
A long time ago, I used to live in Las Vegas, and I had a neighbor. He was some drunk former military guy, and one day we were talking about just nothing, and he had told me that he used to work at Area 51, and so I was like, oh yeah, have you seen the aliens? What do they look like? Blah blah blah, yada yada. And he would never ever tell me nothing. You couldn't pry anything out of him. But one night we had a power outage, and like the whole neighborhood was black. You couldn't see anything. So the night sky was like really dark. You could see like a lot of the stars because there was no outside light to drown out the stars. And he was real stinking drunk. I remember this guy used to drink like a half gallon of whiskey every 3 days. So we're just talking and bullshitting, and out of nowhere he goes, hey, you see Orion's belt? And I was like, no, I don't know what the hell it looks like. And he goes, yeah, up there. He goes, you see Orion's belt? He goes, you see how you see two stars that are straight, very, very parallel to each other, and then there's a little star that's slightly adjacent and off to the left. And I said, yeah, I see it, whatever. And he goes, the bad aliens live on that adjacent star. And I looked at him and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. That the UFOs run on electricity that's gathered up in space, and that instead of how a rocket is driven by thrust, by a combustion engine, he says the reason how the UFOs are able to go so fast is that he said that there's an engine on a UFO that opens up a void in space, and it's almost like he said the UFO is not that it's being thrust, but it's falling into itself.
Puerto Rico sent humanity's first message to aliens, and we were left with billions of unexplained signals that we'll never be able to interpret. I'm Daniel, and this is the story of Arecibo Observatory.
Built in 1963 in the mountains of Puerto Rico, Arecibo just wasn't the largest radio telescope on Earth. In 1974, scientists Frank Drake and Carl Sagan used it to send a message toward a star cluster 25,000 light years away. A signal encoding our DNA, our solar system, a picture of a human being. Humanity's first deliberate attempt to say we're here to whoever might be listening. Then, Arecibo spent decades doing just the opposite, listening. For over 20 years, a project called SETI at Home used Arecibo's data and sent millions of volunteers worldwide to hunt for signals from outer space. No confirmed alien contact, but 12 billion unexplained blips sitting in the data. Then on December 1st, 2020, the telescope's support cables gave out and the entire 900-ton platform collapsed into the dish below. 57 years of searching the stars, gone in about 10 seconds. The facility that spoke to aliens and spent decades listening for them to answer is never scanning the sky again. 12 billion unexplained signals, and we'll never look at them the same way. What do you think is in the data?
It's bad for you, and you eat an Atlantis.
What you mean by that?
Atlantis, remember the space is, if the water is space now, you eating the aliens. So now you eating the aliens and starting the war. They just feeding you nothing but aliens daily. Shrimp, catfish, lobster, all the bottom feeders is tied to Atlantis.
Catfish is
Yes.
aliens?
Yes.
Some good ass aliens?
All of it. Catfish, shrimp, lobster. You shouldn't be eating
So I
any of
shouldn't
it.
eat this?
No.
Right to the last piece?
Go ahead.
Just the
But
last piece.
it's gonna detect that you got mercury in your body. And see, that's what they doing. So remember, keep in mind that the people that are in the White House are all sea creatures. So if they're sea creatures, they're automatically getting you caught up in some shit that you don't need to be caught up in because you're eating aliens. They just told everybody that the ocean was space. So they're going to be able to detect mercury. So there's going to be a sea war. And when they come out the water, just like Pirate of the Caribbean, they're going to attack.
But we need some more aliens then. All right, let me put this down. I'm going to say that for later.
Stop eating it.
When you not here.
Okay.
Because you making me feel bad about eating aliens.
You should feel bad about it. You should. But again, it was something that was taught to us to eat it and not knowing exactly what it is, just like the illusion that we've been in.
Can I drink sweet tea?
Drink the sweet tea. Drink the sweet tea.
All right. Okay. See, you got me kind of fucked up now.
Yeah, I got you messed up.
Yeah.
It's a war that's happening. Again, everybody that's in the White House is sea creatures and reptilian. So this is a diversion. They giving you, like, think about how they put people on TV to eat crawfish and lobster. They make it as like a game. It's a game. And they're feeding you, and what they're gonna do, it's like what I heard when I downloaded the message was that it's gonna suppress your body. So when they do, these sea creatures come out of the ocean and the waters, and they come out intact like the Pirate Caribbean. Think about how they came up in the ship and they were half human and half, octopus and whatever else, on their body, shells and stuff. So when they attack you, it's supposed to let down your defense mechanism and shut your body down. That's what the mercury does.
All right, we're going to get back to that.
Okay.
What about satellites? Did you know that NASA has hundreds of these satellite balloons up in the air right now? Have you seen them? Google and many other companies have fleets of these balloons as well. Look up Project Loon. The fact that NASA and its subsidiaries hardly discuss these so-called satellites was a huge proof for me, because it evinces a deliberate effort to conceal the fact that space satellites don't exist.
You're saying NASA is just one big fat movie production, and that's why they have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That they're the largest buyer of helium in the world, and that's because all satellites are just giant party balloons?
Exactly. And dude, just think about it. You ever wonder why NASA needs that much helium, more than anyone else on the planet? They claim it's for pressurizing rockets or scientific equipment cooling. No, it's because satellites, the ones they tell you are floating in orbit, are actually high-altitude balloons, literally massive government-issued party balloons just chilling up there. And they need constant refills. You ever hear of Project Loon? That was Google's little experimental project, deploying internet satellites via balloons. They admitted it, straight up. And guess what? The project got shut down. But you really think they stopped using them? No shot. They just stopped telling you about it. And it gets crazier. Ever notice how sometimes random people find these satellites crashed in their backyard? And they're not metal space stations. They're just deflated giant balloons with some tech strapped to them. And you know what NASA says every time? Oops, must have been a weather balloon. They're always weather balloons. Every time. They don't even try to hide it anymore. And that's the thing, man. If NASA's whole operation is about helium and camera tricks, it starts looking way less like a space agency and way more like a billion-dollar movie studio. That's why they've got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Just like everyone else with a star, they're for entertainment purposes. Every live feed from space, CGI, green screens. It's all a show, a big helium-filled production.
Notice how there are no cables from here to here or here to here. The reason you will never see these cables connected is because look how far the distance is from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, and the vast distance from 1 to 3. But Ryan, what about these cables here? Oh yeah, you mean the short distance right here? Over 99% of the world's internet traffic, including international phone calls and data transfers, rely on cables. Not satellites, cables. So pull up any map of sea cables and you will see that none of these touch. Because we live on a flat geocentric plane in Revelations 29, and they went up on the breadth of the earth. What is that? That is Strong's G4114. Breadth meaning plateaus, has a root word, breadth, suggesting great extent. Let's look up this root word plateaus. G4116. G4116 says plateaus spread out flat. You have been deceived.
Never know what's going to happen. This baby fell out of the sky and landed in our yard.
What's the biggest conspiracy theory that you believe in?
It's a great question. That one about Avril Lavigne, everyone knows Avril died in 2004.
Yeah, this isn't her on tour right now.
No. She's had multiple body doubles. Same with Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin, too.
He's got multiple plastic surgery people that go in and do different stuff, so yeah.
Which one are you more confident about? Putin or Avril Lavigne?
I'm going to go with Avril on this one.
Yeah. What's your favorite song by Avril Lavigne?
Definitely Skater Boy. I made a cover at one point called Scooter Boy, and I'm a big fan.
Okay, you guys, I wasn't going to make this video about the off-grid creator Joe Fels and his untimely death, but you have to admit, it's a little suspicious. Only because he said so himself, just like in this video where he says, I'm learning all this stuff to show you guys before they off me.
Got some interesting books. Actually called Phoenicia. I'd like to start out by saying I'm not suicidal and I'm very healthy.
Now, on one hand, this does seem pretty plausible only because he was an avid collector when it comes to Apocrypha, lost artifacts, Masonic Bibles. He even had a book that says Ancient Magic, Magnetism, and Psychic Forces. But on the other hand, he did have a stint in the hospital due to a red area on his arm, and they said he hasn't gone to the hospital in over 15 years. And here's that red area that he was talking about. He was asking everybody, should I go to the hospital? Should I not? Does it look better? It is kind of weird though, that you haven't gone to the hospital in over a decade, and then all of a sudden this happens, and then you die. I guess we'll find out what this was, but let's keep moving. Now, people are already starting to point the fingers to his girlfriend, Alexandria. Now, again, we can't jump to any conclusions, but she does have, in this picture, a shirt that says Salem with a witch on it. Just mark that down. But here's where it really gets weird. This is her tattoo that says true love and a girl hugging a pizza. Now, we all know at this point what pizza really means in the underworld. Why would you have this? This is very sus. Now, if this was a regular couple, then you can just pass that off as just coincidence. But these people were really tapped in. They were very spiritual. They were very aware of everything that's going on. And you have that. Now, here's another piece of evidence that I found that's really strange. On his post, somebody said, you should visit the White House with these books and have dinner with Trump. Then he says, stating for the record, I am not suicidal. But it gets even weirder. You guys, people are starting to notice that his content is starting to be deleted. So somebody said there were 3,353 posts as of the 4th. We already see that you deleted most of his ancient Bible posts. Despicable. Another person said, stop deleting Joe's content. I try to go back and watch some of his stuff and download it so I wouldn't lose or forget it. And a bunch of his stuff isn't there anymore. Now, is it a coincidence that he was working on this, Fels Books, which is an online encyclopedia for all his books, his findings, and then he dies? Now, this has been in the works for a long time and been in development since earlier this year. Now, some people say they can get in, some people say they can't, so there's that. Now, there's a lot more to this. I did a bigger breakdown on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, so make sure you guys go check that out. And let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Nobody makes you feel anything. Nobody makes you feel angry. Nobody makes you feel tense. Nobody makes you feel upset. You always decide how you're going to feel, and then if you're not careful, you will fall into a negative habit pattern of blaming the other person. Blame is the core of all negative emotions.
Most of us don't realize that we choose a reaction. When something upsets us, we don't think about it, we just react. When life doesn't go as planned, we feel defeated and accept it is what it is. But that reaction is still a choice even when it doesn't feel like one. Suffering arises when we try to control the uncontrollable, while peace comes from focusing only on our own responses. Simply said, you cannot control what happens to you, but only how you respond to it. No one can make us angry. No one can make us anxious. No one can make you feel stuck. They create the external trigger, but we choose the internal response.
You must regulate your emotions. If it's like, well, this person did this to me, it's not my fault. No, 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 no. You decide what behavior you're going to show. You decide what you reveal to others. Other people cannot be in charge of what your behavior is. Think about how powerless that makes you. Anybody can do anything to you. Now, if you want to lose it, make sure you're doing it because you intelligently chose to do it, not because you lost control. Somebody got the better of you, and you said and did things that you wish you hadn't done, and now you're pissed at yourself. It's gonna happen to you, but at least learn from that. But what sometimes we do is like, that person to this did this, so I reacted to that. So then you're just a reactive person.
If you keep reacting, your nervous system is in control, not you. Here's the difference between reacting and responding. Reaction happens automatically. It's fast, emotional, and driven by your nervous system. Response is slower. It's conscious. So if you want to stop reacting, the first step isn't mindset. It's regulation. When something triggers you, pause. Take one slow, deep breath in through your nose and take a longer breath out through your mouth. That longer exhale tells your nervous system you're not in danger. Once your body calms, you create space. And in that space, you get to choose. Do I mirror this energy? Or do I hold my own? This is how identity changes, not by forcing calm, but by practicing safety.
The traffic did not ruin your morning. Your reaction to the traffic ruined your morning. The comment did not destroy your confidence. Your choice to replay it until it became a conviction did. The external world is doing what it always does. It is moving. It is indifferent. It is unpredictable. Your relationship to it is the only variable in your control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Train the reaction, not to become unfeeling, but to become the gap between stimulus and response.
You just say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready?
I'm an American Airlines pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it.
How long have you been a pilot for? 43 years. Wow. What shape is the planet? Flat.
You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
Like for Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
Oh. You know it's flat?
The world is flat.
Confirmed.
Completely flat.
Who would this conspiracy
And ice wall?
benefit?
What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that, and you go down, and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor.
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
This video got 40 million views, and it is quite interesting because this guy claims that this is in fact footage of a land beyond the ice wall, of a new continent. Now, the reason why this went absolutely viral is because this guy claims that he is, well, you can tell by his voice that he's a Russian, you'll hear that soon. But he says that the Russian government is the only country on Earth that is allowed to sail to these other lands. And that's why you always hear President Putin always talking about these old maps he has and like these other peoples that he wants to like bring in and allow to come over here. But the crazy thing is in this video is he's showing what appears to be a new land, but he's like very paranoid and saying, okay, I'm going like, I got so much to cover here, but just stay, don't scroll please, even though I'm struggling here. The translation is very bad on TikTok, so I don't know exactly what he's saying, and it seems like he keeps repeating himself, but he's just constantly freaking out in every single video that there's some guy up here on a pyramid watching him, and there were watchers in white robes, which I've seen on the videos before. I'll just put a picture up, and they scan your brain like they're telepaths, and they scan everything, and they figure out like your entire life, your memories, because they're trying to make sure that you're a safe person to be let into these lands. And this is a recurring story that we've heard from other people who claim to have traveled to these places, like especially in the Nos Confunden books, if you've ever heard about those, that these people in these other lands are extremely paranoid about us, like from Earth, and they don't want any trouble to be coming towards them, because apparently like we're just bad people, I guess, and there's something very wrong with our world, which I think a lot of us can see that. But this guy, he apparently he trades with these other peoples. He calls it the Trinitarian Kingdom, which I don't know what that means. Like, some people thought it might be about the Holy Trinity, like the God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, but I don't think that's it. I think it has to be just some kind of translation error. Like maybe 3 kingdoms mixed into one. But he was also like showing the cave there, and he said that that is like the entrance to where he does his tradings. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Think about it. We're in the age of AI. We don't know what's real and what's not.
And it's never going to be, this is the worst it'll ever be.
It's going to get better.
Yep.
So we can fake anything. It's almost like that movie Wag the Dog, to where there was a scandal in the White House, and to cover up the scandal, they generated a fake war. The war was never happening. They had a green screen. They had an actress come out and be like, oh, we're getting blown up in Albania. None of it was real.
So Tyler Perry Studios,
Ocean's 11, they faked the entire
thing.
The entire thing.
Right.
All of that happened on like a stage, like a set.
Right.
Okay. There was another one too. Now You See Me.
Now You See Me. The whole thing was fake.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
So we don't know what's real and what's fake. That's what's dangerous. Here's another thing too. Not too long ago, about 2 months ago, Trump signed an executive order saying, hey, we're going to debank illegal immigrants. Now, why would he do this? Of course, for obvious reasons, right? He wants to, help out with the immigration. Here's the article right here. The Trump administration has announced a new initiative aimed at debanking illegal immigrants. This move is a part of a broader strategy to tighten financial regulations and curb illegal immigration. But here's the thing. This has been going on for a long time. Why now? They pay taxes. You guys do know that, right? I think that, for one, he's going so hard on immigration, not because it's like, oh, it's a great America thing. He just doesn't need them anymore because he has what?
AI. Ooh, come on, man.
Shit.
And who is he aligned with? The technocrats. Who has AI? It goes right into what I was saying.
So Terminator is on in like 10 minutes.
Basically, because if they don't need them, shit, why do they need us?
Well, that's the next step. It's starting with that. Debanking, immigration, get them out of here. So we don't need them.
We're going to take your money. We don't need you to work to make money because we got these robots.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
It's a bigger plan.
Damn.
Because all the politicians had been dealing with immigration for a very long time. Even Obama, he deported more people than Trump. Same thing with Biden. Biden deported a lot of people. So people were like, oh, Trump, yeah, he's deporting a lot of people too. It's all for different reasons though. This reason for Trump, he's getting rid of them because he doesn't need them. He has AI now.
You don't need anybody, then what's the point of having any of this?
Control humanity. This is why they're rolling out UBI. We just read a report. It just said the 1% of US households own 90% of the combined wealth of the bottom 90%. So the 1%, they run everything and they're gonna have AI, and the bottom 90, here's this chat, UBI. They're gonna wipe out all the jobs.
Translation, turn you into a slave, basically.
That's what's happening.
A paid slave, but a slave.
I'm telling you.
They're like, oh, the slavery thing kind of works.
Kind of works.
Let's enslave all of them.
The main reason why this past Mercury retrograde kicked your ass is because it was an initiation process to step into the portal of manifestation, which is the Lion's Gate. Because right now you got 4 planets in retrograde, which is the 4 pillars of manifestation. So you got Chiron in retrograde, which represents the wounded healer. You got Saturn in retrograde, which represents karmic retribution. You got Pluto in retrograde, which represents internal transformation. And then you got Neptune in retrograde, which represents a spiritual awakening. And all those planetary bodies creates the energy signature of manifestation by way of creativity, because you cannot negate that you had the star Regulus that's in alignment with the Leo star constellation that was also in alignment with the Sphinx of Egypt. And it happens every 24,000 years. So that's telling you that the Christ energy is here by way of manifestation. So you're finna go through a manifestation portal. Everything that you've been trying to manifest for the last 6 months, you finna get that shit. So that's why this past Mercury retrograde, you went through a bad breakup, you lost your job, you lost your house, you went through a lot of bullshit. So with all that shit being said, this Lionsgate portal is going to be different from all the other ones. And the reason I say that is because the star Regulus that's coming from the Leo star constellation, that alignment with the Sphinx, that happens every 24,000 years. That is basically like an anomaly. Because one thing you got to understand, that transmuted the planet at a 47-degree tilt. So that's basically the portal of manifestation, intrinsic energy to where you're able to tap into your creative energy. That's what makes you a god. That's what makes you an architect. So everything that you've been trying to manifest, like I said, you finna get that shit. So right now, this is basically the portal of manifestation, and it's also a graduation.
You all need to hear this. This is a live witch. She is going to explain the truth about liquor and alcohol. Everything getting brought to the light over here on this channel and on this side. So y'all smash that follow button. Y'all listen to what she got to say. And you might want to stop blowing your money on liquor.
Alcohol is called what? Spirits. And the reason it's called that is because when you drink it, it numbs your body and makes you, go numb in the mind.
Listen.
And it allows these different spirits that are just waiting for a vessel to temporarily jump in and do whatever they want.
This ain't a reach.
That's why a lot of people do some shit, be like, I don't remember that at all. It's because it wasn't you. Anyway, so he had been drinking.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
Say it again.
So when you drink, people drink and get real drunk, and they'll say the next day,
they'll black out. That's the word I always hear. I blacked out.
Spirit came.
I have some serious ass stories about that. And they'll go, I don't remember none of that. It's because it wasn't them. Temporarily, it allowed these, twisted spirits to jump in, do some fucked up shit, jump back out. They jump all over the place.
People end up pregnant, killing somebody, hurting somebody, saying something they shouldn't have said.
Now, y'all just heard the reason why y'all blacked out and you didn't remember nothing. You blacked out and didn't remember nothing because of an unclean spirit. Let this be a warning and let this educate you on the dangers of drinking too much alcohol and liquor. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, as long as you see this face, I'm gonna let you know that everything is spiritual. These unclean spirits, they use your vessel when your body is numb to do the sinful deed through your body, because demonic spirits, they need a body to occupy. And when you and I do things that is sinful, we open the door for these unclean, twisted spirits, like this witch said, to enter into our vessel and use us. And then when it's done using us, using our vessel, it goes away. And then you're like, oh, what happened? Y'all, spiritual warfare we are in. Wake up.
Government hates you and they're coming to get you.
I just caught the craziest thing on the homestead. That's weird. Joe! Charlie! Big ass black helicopter that just flew over the homestead. I got it on camera.
I've been here 3 weeks and this is the first helicopter that I've seen. It's really strange and it's flying right over the homestead. The first helicopter I've seen.
Julian! The choppers are back! How many helicopters have you seen?
Here on 3 months.
How many have you heard?
Yeah.
I started posting videos about ancient relics, lost civilizations. What happened? When we posted about the batteries. So for those of you who say choppers, not circling nature jab,
Came right back.
his batteries got delivered. This is the second time this chopper has circled me. What happened when y'all left Julian's build with me the last time? The chopper legitimately just flew across the interstate, snapped a picture of you, and dipped off.
Helicopter followed the bus down the road like it was right overhead of us.
Was a completely open helicopter.
3 things that whacked me in the head, and a hose just came off and soaked
The doors are wide open.
There
There was 2 guys in the back, one driving.
When was the last time you watched for that? You go first.
I'm right in the tree line on the left side of the interstate.
The road is my home. Fuck that cop.
Crossed over the interstate, stopped right above us, like they were trying to take a picture. As soon as we passed underneath him, he fucking flew off to the left side again and disappeared.
Guess what I had? Border Patrol trucks. Follow me and pass me twice. I pulled out my phone to record him. He turned off on the very next exit. You were probably thinking we're strange conspiracy theorists. We're just showing you what's happening in full unedited video. The videos are not AI produced. This is me buying a house.
I got 2 homes.
Computer don't think about Kevin Gates and real estate. I would never lie to you with no shirt, no boxers on. You can trust me. The government fucking hates you and they're coming to get you. Merry Christmas.
Something just feels so off about this. I just feel like he was intentionally targeted by everything he was exposing. Look at previous events. There's been so many people that have been exposing the government, the medical system, satanic pedophiles, the vaccinations, all the scientists that have gone missing or dead because of what they're exposing. And yet we're supposed to believe this is just not that. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Rest in peace, Joe.